Isaac Palmer. Today, we are going to talk about highway with no exits. And to me, that means setting up this highway so that your one outcome is achieved. That's the only thing that can happen. If you think of a highway that goes from point A to point B, we want to ignore all the exits. We want to ignore all the other drivers on the road. We want to get there. And so we're going to set that up for you. I I first, when I got this topic, I first went to something that was written on a whiteboard when I started a new job in Florida. Where it came from, it was on the whiteboard, is left over from my predecessor. And it says this: compelling vision plus effective strategy plus relentless execution equals results. So that's how we want to build our highway. First block, second block, third block, and then we're going to get there. So first is vision, and for that is you've got to know you. You have to know who you are and what you're about so that you can set a vision that's going to meet who you are and what you're about. And then you're going to dream big, dream big. And from all those dreams, don't let fear dreams. So this is the same, we talked about in one of the other videos, pain and sitting with pain. You do the same thing with fear. You sit with it. Fear is not something to avoid. All it is don't let it define your dreams. Understand it. Know that it's there. Know that you're a little scared. It's okay to be scared, but don't let it adjust. Well, because I'm afraid of this, I don't want to do that. Dream big and go after it. So that's vision. The next is strategy, which is just come up with a plan. You know, after you dream big, how are we gonna get there? Write it down, speak it out to the world. There's a great book I read called Why Should White Guys Have All the Fun by Reginald Lewis. I almost forgot his name. Reginald Lewis, the first the first black billionaire in the 80s. He made his money through buying companies. And the first, I think, it was the first owner of a billion dollar company, Reginald Lewis, black guy. But in this book, he came from nothing, and poor neighborhood in Baltimore, and he got out of the dream stage and said, "I want a Harvard law degree." And then he said, "Now all I got to do is put a plan together." And he put a hell of a plan together. He got into Harvard Law School. I think at the time, he was the first and only person to get into Harvard Law School without writing an application. They just let him come on in because he put together a plan. And I'm not going to ruin it for you. You can read the book. You can hear the plan. And then he followed that. He executed that plan to a T to get into Harvard Law School, which is the third block, is the execution. You've got to execute, 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 execute every day, every morning, every waking moment. What am I doing today to do my plan? What am I going to do tomorrow to do my plan? Jim Collins wrote a book called Great by Choice. There's a chapter in there called The 20 Mile March. Talks about a hiking team that trekked. This is like 100 years ago. That trekked from the West Coast to the East Coast in America, and instead of you know uh, doing what they could each day, they said every day we're going to march 20 miles. So that was their discipline. 20 miles today, whether it's raining, snowing, or the weather's great, we're going to 20 miles. So that means, at noon they might be done. They're going to rest. Great day, rest. Tomorrow it's snowing, it's hell. We're going to get through 20 miles. And that's the discipline they created. So once you get your plan, chop it up into 20 miles that you know you can do. And then every day, just do it, regardless of what happens, regardless. And then when it's easy, take the rest. Because, tomorrow you're going to do another 20 miles. So getting results done is vision, strategy, and execution. Your homework is start with the vision. Get some me time to just veg out, explore yourself, know what makes you happy, know what you're looking for. Read some writings from people that are visionaries that had big, bold goals. Follow some guys and girls on Instagram, right? That are visionaries, that have big, that dream big. Then I want you to write those down. Write them down. Vision board, text yourself. I write them on my mirror with a marker. Write them down. And then the last thing you're gonna do is tell somebody. And that is, there's a lot of theories about speaking it out in the universe. Once it's out there, just one other person knowing your big goals creates that accountability for you. Now it's real. Now it's real. So speak it out into the universe. Write it on your mirror. Put it on your phone as the lock screen. Here's my goal. I want to do such and such. Let everybody know. Then once you do that, then you come up with a plan and then you execute. I will leave you with this. You got this. You got this. This is how growth starts.